back to my channel these days. I have been like absent for about the past 6 months here on YouTube after like a kitchen remodel, demo remodel, whole house kind of remodel, and homeschooling and all the things. I just kind of put YouTube on the back burner, and yeah, so that is where I have been. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen my updates here and there. I am pretty regular on Instagram, more so than YouTube, just because it takes a little more time for me to put together a video and content. So today I have a video for you guys where I am going to be talking about my favorite homeschool mom resources. And I've never really done a video like this before. I've done like free homeschool resources and good homeschool resources and homeschool, but today my focus really is about the homeschool mom, the woman who is behind the homeschool and our families, and just acknowledging that we too as moms, we need to grow and we need to learn. And I feel like in the last 6 months I've tried to focus a little bit more on my growth as a homeschool mom, and it's been good. Like I've been able to grow as I've read more, listened to more, and really just taken in great insight and wisdom from women who have already even been through homeschooling. So I'm excited to share with you guys all the things, what I'm into right now, my current homeschool mom resource favorites. Before I get started, if you didn't already catch that, this channel is all about motherhood and homeschool days and just where I am at in this whole thing that we call life. And yeah, thank you guys for following along. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is physical community, homeschool groups, homeschool co-ops, other just homeschool moms you meet here and there at the park, at the library, wherever. That is my very first thing. And I hesitated to put this at the back of the video at the very end because it just seemed so like, well, duh, everyone like needs to have some sort of community to where they can find resources and talk about different things and learn from other moms. But I decided to put it at the front because it's really important to have those people in your life physically that you see every once in a while to bounce ideas off of and to learn from. And so yeah, that's my very first thing, kind of like no-brainer, but my very first resource is the people that I come in contact with on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, who also homeschool, who I can talk to homeschool things with about. Okay, so the second type of resource that I'm going to talk about is books. Now, there is a lot of homeschool books, and I honestly don't have a whole lot, but the ones that I do have and the ones that I have decided to purchase, they have been really good, and I do like to hold on to them. I'll let people borrow them if they want to, but the first book that I would recommend, I bought this about maybe 2.5 months ago, and I have been wanting to read it and I just hadn't read it. It's called Mother Culture by Karen Andriola, and it is just a wonderful, encouraging book it's got just little tidbits of just little nuggets of wisdom is what I like to call them, from Karen Andriola, who is she would homeschool her children in the 80s and 90s, and she just has so much wisdom as a wife and a mom who follows God. And she also was one of the first people to put in print again the Charlotte Mason volumes. And so she has an Instagram also, so you might follow her on there. It just talks about how we as mothers, we create the culture for our homes. And so we have to do that intentionally and with intention, and to give our children a thinking love. It says on the back, it says, the mother culture is a skillful art of how a mother looks after her own household. With a thinking love, she creates a culture in the home all of her own. Okay? So we take care of a lot of things as a homeschool mom, as a wife, as a mother in general. And so we also have to take care of ourselves, but not just ourselves, our minds. Let our minds grow as mothers so that we can pour that also into our children. So I definitely recommend this book if you haven't had your hands on it or haven't even heard of it, because I didn't hear about it for a while actually. It's not a very super popular book. It may be becoming more popular, but it is a really just full of so many nuggets of wisdom book. The second book is, of course, The Call of the Wild and Free, and this is by Ainsley Arment, and the person who started the Wild and Free movement, homeschool movement, and it is just beautiful. And it just focuses on how we preserve childhood and we give our children like just, you know, the most amazing chance to be their true selves. And childhood is a time to foster creative play and just to learn and throw ideas at kids, and just it's just a wonderful time, and how we as moms should cherish that. And so also learning at their own pace, encouraging your kids to learn at their own pace and being okay with it as a mom. The next book, I'm actually in the middle of reading this one, so I have not finished this yet. I'm just starting it actually. But I did get to hear Julie Bogarts speak at the Wild and Free conference. And of course, I've been following her for a long time. I've read The Brave Learner, which is also a really great book that I just didn't pull out. It's a great book for just kind of creating this atmosphere for learning, and just, I love Julie Bogarts and the way she puts things. Raising Critical Thinkers, I'm excited to jump into it. So it's one of those that I'm slowly working my way through. And I like to chew, like kind of like take little bits, and like then I can't sit and just like read a book like this in one sitting, like a novel or whatever, like in a few hours. It takes me a long time because I really want to think about the things that are written, and there's so much information just kind of digest and then like figure out what information to take and keep in your brain and what information isn't important to you. But I'm excited to finish this one. If you've read this and finished this, definitely drop a comment below. So the third set of resources that I wanted to talk to you guys about was podcast. So for podcast, I am typically the type of person who I don't want to listen to a podcast unless I know that it's going to be worth my time hearing. Like, I don't want any extra input into my brain that I'm not like actually is not valuable to me. It's really weird. I don't know why I'm like that. But one podcast that I am loving is the Sally Clarkson podcast. So she has Tea Time Tuesday, and then she also has another one that comes, it's the same podcast, but she has always one on Tuesday and then always one, I think, I'm not sure which day it comes out on. I just open up my app and see what's next. But her podcasts are always so fun and lively, and they just remind me to enjoy the moment. And she just has such a beautiful way of just encouraging you to enjoy life and to thank God for everything. And just it's been such a wonderful thing for me to listen to. The second podcast that I want to mention is the Classical Conversations podcast. So we are actually going to be doing Classical Conversations this coming fall. So of course, like any good homeschool mom, I looked up to see if they had any resources for me to listen to more about it and stuff. And that one has been really great also. So I really enjoyed I really like to listen to that one. I've kind of I go through the list and pick the ones that I want to listen to. So one that I really enjoyed was, there's a 5-part series, and it's 25 reasons to homeschool. And it's been so rich, so good, and I've really enjoyed that podcast also. I think it would be good for anyone, even if you're not doing Classical Conversations. And the third podcast that I have been listening to lately and I really enjoy is the Read Aloud Revival with Sarah McKenzie podcast. That podcast inspires me to read aloud to my kids, and it reminds me to read aloud to my kids, and it reminds me also how good it is for their brains. Definitely check out that podcast. Read Aloud Revival podcast. I really like that also. So my fourth favorite resource lately is actually the print magazine that you get with the Wild and Free bundles. So it's a subscription, and I went back and forth for a long time about getting the bundles on Wild and Free, and it's $19 a month. But the print magazine has been such a beautiful thing for me to get in the mail and to look at once a month. And you also get access to all the bundles and all their content there on the Wild and Free website. For me, it has been really enriching. It gives me encouragement as a mom. There's also activities that you can do, different articles that do activities with your kids. My son even likes to grab it and read it. But that has been another resource that I've really loved. My sister-in-law actually was the one who encouraged me to jump into it, and she was so right, because it has been really great. I actually need to go check my mail because my month of June magazine should be literally in the mail right now. So Anyway, that is my 4th favorite resource lately. So my 5th favorite resource is, of course, Instagram. Instagram has a really large part in my life for homeschool resource, and just something that really fills me, and like, it's exciting to watch other people and what they do. I like to see different things about how other people do different types of homeschool. And so the people that I found on Instagram, I love finding like a really great homeschool mom Instagram profile, people who are just posting what it's like in this life of homeschool. And it's always really encouraging to me. So I love that. And then I have my like favorite big Instagrammers, like, you know, same thing as the books and the podcast, Sally Clarkson, Julie Bogarts, Wild and Free, Ainsley Arment. A lot of this is kind of repeating. So yeah, Instagram is a really great resource for homeschooling. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this video valuable and that you found some resources here that maybe you could use and that you maybe already use. So drop a comment below. Let me know about maybe a resource I didn't mention, a book that you loved to read that was a really great addition to your homeschool. Definitely find me on Instagram if you are not already. I try to post content that is homeschool, motherhood related, and yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.